Hey everybody, welcome to a special edition of the Mile High Game Guys board gaming podcast, where we are going to discuss Pandemic Legacy. I, as always, am your host, Adrian.
I'm still Zach.
I'm Jeff.
And joining us today is one of the players from Jeff's game, Wesley.
Hey everybody.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello, hello.
How's it going, Wesley?
Fantastic.
Good to hear.
Right on. So Zach and I play... Jeff just started the timer.
Good job, Jeff.
It's fine. Negative
fine.
timers. It's fine.
Yeah.
So Zach and I play Pandemic Legacy with David and Bob, who have not been on the show,
Nope.
but may at some point make an appearance.
Probably.
Jeff and Wesley play with our other mutual friend, Andrew.
And
Ant, who listeners of the show are well acquainted with.
And hopefully not sick of.
And hopefully not totally sick of.
That's why I'm here instead.
Yeah, exactly.
We wanted variety.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we are going to discuss, like I said, the Pandemic Legacy. This is a full spoilers cast. We're going to be just chock full of spoilers. We are
But-
only covering the first 6 months, though.
Only 6 months. So
January to June.
So if you are listening to this and you're in like February of your game, get the fuck out now.
Yeah.
If
Well-
you're in, September of your game, go nuts. You're not going to learn
Yeah.
anything new.
Or if you don't care about spoilers.
Yeah,
Or if you don't care about spoilers.
just want to hear us talk about things that you might like.
Yeah.
In
So
that game.
nobody.
You could be one of there. I know there are a lot of people that are like a game you can only play once. Fuck that.
Yeah.
This is for you.
Yes. So that you will know what
You will know what you
are-
missed.
Or not missing, depending on your feelings towards it.
Your wrong feelings.
Yeah.
They should be
You'll
missed.
miss it.
Yeah.
It's worth playing.
Yeah.
Um,
There's a reason why on Reddit I put my little thing as legacy games forever.
well, mine's Mile High Game Guys because I like to promote my podcast.
Yeah, I don't
And
like
I-
to self-promote, so.
I don't even know how to do that.
Yeah, I can't even remember what mine is. I don't think it's anything.
But no, I do think that Pandemic Legacy is definitely worth playing. It's
Yes.
got a pretty cool little story and some unique things that
Yeah.
go on it that you can't really find in any other game.
On top of Legacy, on
outside
top of
of-
Pandemic already being an
Yes.
awesome game.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I will say, you played a bit of Risk Legacy with me.
Yes.
Correct? Yeah. And you guys haven't played it at
No,
all?
No.
I have played Risk.
Okay.
Oh, I've played a lot of Risk.
All right. So when we played Risk Legacy, the first one, we were a little hesitant because, one, we didn't know what a Legacy game really was.
Uh-huh.
But then also, it's Risk. And we're like, what can it do to improve Risk? Because Risk is sort of a bullshit game, at least according to me.
I mean, it's not ideal.
Yeah.
It'd be kind of nice to it because I don't hate
Yes.
Risk, but it's certainly not ideal.
But we played a little bit of it. We played like 4 or 5 games, I think, into it, and it was amazing. Like it made
I
it
actually
a
really
really
liked
good
it.
game. So when I first heard that they announced the Pandemic Legacy, I fucking love Pandemic, and you're gonna make Legacy out of it. Fucking shut up and take my money.
See, I was kind of on the opposite side of that. I was a little bit more hesitant because one of the things that I liked about Risk Legacy was the fact that Risk being a more of a competitive game, like if you win, you get to pick some things, so you get to skew it one way, and then if you lose, then somebody else gets to skew. And so the game kind of ebbs and flows as
Right.
different people win. Whereas Pandemic Legacy, like as you play through it, initially what I had assumed was that the game would just kind of happen to you. It'd just
Right.
be more of a story.
Uh-huh.
And your actions might not matter as much.
Right.
Turns out I was wrong about that,
Yeah.
and happily so. I do really like Pandemic Legacy. I know, right?
We already started that like
I know.
3 minutes ago.
I know.
Zach,
Just-
if
I
you
wanted to say it
if
once.
you say spoilers, okay. As long
Say
as
what?
as long as it's just one.
Don't say spoilers. Is that what you're telling me?
Should
I really
say spoilers?
I
Ooh,
really
yes. Can
wish-
Wesley say spoilers?
I really wish the audio could convey the look of hatred that I'm sending your way right now.
Okay, I won't say spoilers anymore, unless it's appropriate. Like you start talking about July stuff.
Which I won't.
No.
You don't know. You don't know.
I'm not crazy.
So
I mean, that's not relevant.
Or
to
if
this,
it's something
but-
unrelated.
Off,
Exactly. Yeah.
Star Wars Rogue
The-
One spoilers?
Yeah.
Let's not talk about that.
off the rails. Off the goddamn
Uh-huh.
rails.
Okay.
So
Yes.
we have 2 different copies of Pandemic Legacy.
Blue and red.
Blue
2
over
different
here.
4-person groups.
Yep.
It's like
we have a
we
blue box
coordinated it.
and a red box. Wes and I, Jeff,
Yep.
are on the red box. Adrian and Zach are on the blue box.
We
Yep.
are.
So as we refer to our differences in our games, we might refer to red and blue, not pertaining to the viruses specifically.
Correct.
Yes.
But there is no difference between the boxes.
That is true.
Besides
There-
the color.
Yep, that's the only difference, and the reason he did that was basically if you want to start up another game or have two games going simultaneously, the blue box is for this group, the red box is for this group.
Yep.
Yeah. Helps you not mix them up and introduce July spoilers to your February crowd.
Yeah,
Exactly.
absolutely.
And I definitely know that some people have bought this again to play like with other people.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, I'm going to get the red box this time because I had the blue box before. So
Yeah.
But Risk Legacy did have differences in the boxes, right?
Yes.
And that's, I think, what people were expecting.
Yes, it did.
I didn't realize that.
So there was something underneath the box that was
Lid?
Yeah, underneath the lid that said, "Do not open ever." That when people open, there was one of 5 different things. So,
Oh,
so I guess
okay.
spoilers for Risk Legacy.
I mean, it's on the
God damn
lid of
it.
the box, right?
Yeah.
And we didn't say what's in it, but apparently there are 5 different things
Yes.
in the do not ever open
Yeah.
thing.
But if you're not supposed to open
Exactly.
it, how did
That's the
anybody know?
spoiler. That's the spoiler.
How did they know?
There's things inside. It would have been great if they're like, "Do not open ever," and they open it up and there's just nothing in there.
Just a big middle finger.
Yeah.
Just a
I
blank
told
card.
you not to open.
Actually, talking about Pandemic Legacy, what were you expecting when we started this?
So I knew going in that it played out over a year and that you played each month.
Yeah.
And that you had 2 opportunities to get through it.
Okay.
That you could, like if the viruses overtook you, you lost and you played the month
Yeah.
again. And then if you failed, you just moved on. And then if you won, you went to the next month.
Right.
That was about the extent of what I knew going in.
Okay.
Like I said, I vaguely expected it to be more linear story. Like, I don't know why that was. Like, especially playing Risk, where obviously Risk wasn't linear at all.
Yeah.
It was just whatever the hell happened
Yeah.
in the game affected the board.
Yeah.
So I don't know where I got that idea that it'd be more linear. I guess because it was a co-op, and I felt like as a co-op, there wouldn't be as much opportunity for
Right.
us to do things different
Okay.
enough to cause
Yeah.
it to change without and it did force a lot of things, first spoiler of the day, in the middle of the first month, you get to a certain point on your outbreak track,
Yep.
and it tells you to open a little card, and that card is a sticker that goes on one of the viruses that says that virus can no longer be cured.
That is correct.
And that's kind of the first
Yeah.
shit moment of the game, especially because one of the starting goals is cure all 4 viruses, and
Yep.
you just rip that
Yeah,
card
they
out.
tell you, all right, once you put your sticker on, rip up that other card because you don't fucking need it anymore.
And your first tearing
Yeah.
experience.
And so that was kind of the like.
So that wasn't my first tearing because we did Risk Legacy,
Yeah.
but I will say on my first tearing for Risk Legacy, as soon as I read, oh shit, I get to tear this? Fuck yeah.
Zach was like giddy about
Yeah,
it.
but and I was just like, when I saw that, I was like, fuck, I'm not going to tell anybody until, all right, you guys put all your stickers on. All right, let me just hand me all those things real quick. Rip right in front. And they're like, what the fuck are you doing? I'm like, that's part of the game. But what about you guys? Since this is both your guys' first Legacy.
Yes. I have no qualms tearing things apart.
Okay.
And then I do throw them. But, I did keep some of the torn up cards for like a game. And then I was like, what am I fucking doing?
Right?
And then I threw
Yeah.
away all the stuff.
Yeah. What about you, Wesley?
It's traumatizing to me just to watch Jeff tear up cards
Right.
that are his cards.
No,
if
yeah.
it was my game,
Uh-huh.
I would insist on not tearing them up,
Right.
putting them aside somewhere where we knew not to use them.
Yeah.
And at the very least, if we did tear them up, to like keep the pieces.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just feel that things that come in a box have to stay
Trust
in a
me,
box.
there is so many people that are that way.
There are people who went to great lengths to make this game replayable.
Yes.
Like,
Well, no, and that was the other thing about it is I had researched Pandemic Legacy for a long time because I knew that it changed, and I didn't want to buy a game that would change so much I would not be able to use it again.
Yeah.
It's like I would just want to have all the pieces
Right.
intact and know that I could still use them.
right.
Yes. So I will say, the interesting thing about Risk Legacy was after your 15 game campaign, you're supposed to have a unique game, solely to you that you guys could play over and again if you want. Whereas this is more of a campaign. So once you play all the way to December,
Yeah.
it's not you can't.
That's it.
So it's
Yeah.
kind of especially like on the box right there. It's Pandemic Legacy Season 1.
Yeah.
And there's already some talk about like what Season 2 might
Yeah.
entail or where it might go from there.
Spoilers.
And so
I love that, Wesley. Thank you.
I hate you guys. So yes, it is more of a campaign that will continue more through separate games later, rather than be able to replay the last month of it
Yes.
over and over again. Wesley, you said you'd researched a fair amount going into it. Jeff, did you have any ideas? Like, what did you expect going into the game?
I think I knew about as much as you did, where you would play over 12 months. But after that, I tried to stay away from anything
Right.
else. Like the first time you open that box and you see that sheet of stickers, like, holy shit.
Yeah.
What am I in for?
Yes.
And I was super excited about
Yeah.
it.
So I will say, in Risk Legacy, you had this thing of stickers and then like a couple boxes, but that was basically it. Whereas for this thing, you have this dossier of like 100. It's probably not 100, but
Dozens
100
and
different
dozens.
Yeah, it's like
things,
50 or 60.
Yeah, to open, and like when I first time I saw that, I was just like, oh god, what are we doing? This is amazing.
It's like Christmas
Yes,
every month.
pretty much. Yeah.
Almost literally, because we started in December 9th and
Yeah.
just finished 6 months
There you go.
of games.
Yeah. Well,
We were on track for a while.
Yeah.
And
same
now,
with us.
yeah,
Same with us, and then
When was our last game? When did we play our last game?
4 months ago.
April.
Yeah,
4 months
ours-
ago tomorrow.
Nice.
Ours was April 20th, and then we got
April
2 games
30th.
in
Yeah,
August.
of weeks
so
ago.
we've
Yeah.
talked about doing this exact episode since we started this this podcast.
Yeah.
We've just been waiting for Jeff and Wesley's group to get caught up to us
Yeah.
enough that
And we
could
did
do
a couple weeks
halfway
ago,
done.
finally.
Yep. Soon we will pass you. Fingers crossed.
I guarantee you, if we really put our minds to it, we get our group together easier
Yeah.
than you guys seem to be
Oh,
able to
yeah.
get
No, not with Ant
wrangled
right
into it. Yeah, well, especially leading into GABF. He's
Yeah,
so
no,
busy
he's-
he
drinking
can't
do
tons
anything.
and tons of beer for work.
Like, I'm surprised I had time to come here.
Yeah.
I'm fine.
Yep.
Nothing but free time.
Oh. I wish I had free
Aw.
time. I wish I had free time.
Hey,
Yeah,
hey,
yeah, me too.
Jeff, we have WoW. Okay, we can always do that.
We got to wrap this up. I got to go play.
Yeah, same here.
All right. Well, that's been fun, and that's been the spoilers.
I guess next episode we're gonna do February spoilers.
So yeah, so let's dig into that a little bit. So like I said, this is covering the first 6 months. So
Yep.
we're gonna go through here real quick. Jeff, you went through and took some notes about the major changes that occur month to month. So we already discussed January's. You know, about halfway through the game, you hit that turn on the outbreak track and you pull out your first sticker that now all of a sudden
Yep.
something can't be cured. For
Yep.
us, it was the black ones, which
Yep.
we named King Jellybean.
So our game, we decided to go with a Rick and Morty theme. So all the characters are Rick and Morty characters, and then all of the diseases are named after things sort of appropriate towards that. So
and our black one is King Jellybean. right?
yes, which
Yeah.
he is not himself. He's just a horrible person. So
And so it's fitting
He
that
is
the-
a cancer on society.
Exactly.
Yeah. And
or
he's
he
real,
was.
and
but
Spoilers.
just like just like the uncurable piece of shit that is
Yes.
our black disease.
Yes.
King Jellybean is a real piece of shit.
yep.
Ours is the red disease, which we have not named because we have just called it the Coda virus.
Right. Which I think
Because
most
we're
people did.
creative.
Yeah. Most people did that too. They were
I
just
mean, it
like, they
makes
came up
sense.
with names of other ones, but they called it Coda, and they're like, yeah, it's Coda, but it's King. The nickname is King Jellybean, really.
Yeah. It has a nickname, but we'll get to that later.
Okay.
we had different ground zeros, which actually ground zero doesn't come up yet.
Yeah, not.
No.
No,
Not quite yet.
So we
Spoilers.
just had the red uncurable
Jesus.
virus in January.
Yep.
Which involved our first tearing of cards.
Mm-hmm.
I think we ended up winning January.
No, you
After
lost.
that.
No, we were gonna win. We played so well, and then on the last turn, flipped an epidemic
that's
and
right.
lost.
Yep.
It was basically we win if you don't draw an epidemic, and boom, there was an epidemic.
Right, but then we won handily on the second
Yeah,
game of
yeah.
January.
You guys were winning right up until you lost.
Yep.
as one normally does.
Yes.
Indeed.
Yeah. We lost pretty handily on that first one, I think.
Yeah,
yes.
we did.
But then we had a nice winning streak after that. But
As soon as you hit that, like, well, you can't cure this disease anymore.
Yep.
I was like, oh, this game's gonna be awesome.
yes, so that's what made the second game in January so much easier, is because we're like, oh, we know this, we can plan against that. So we only have to cure 3 diseases instead of 4. Sweet.
Because that kind of, that can really screw
Yeah.
you. If you're geared up to cure something and then that happens, and
Exactly.
you're like, oh, well, I had 5 black cards and I was going to
Yep.
cure on my turn, but now it's uncurable.
Exactly.
Fuck me, right? So that can really screw with you. So then both of our games, we lost our first round of January, but then won our second one.
Yep.
Yep.
So then we move into February, and what's the big reveal in February?
So at the beginning of February, the virus mutates, and you can no longer treat
Yeah.
the disease. You can no longer remove cubes from the board of this color through actions.
I remember looking at that and I was just like, gotta be fucking kidding me. What the fuck are we supposed to do?
Yeah, and that's also when they introduced the quarantine specialist, which ends up becoming huge
Yes.
because
Huge.
We
Yeah.
have played 7 times of our 9 games with the quarantine specialist. Basically, as soon as we got the quarantine
Yeah.
specialist,
Yeah.
it's been
You
in
gotta
every
have her.
single
Yeah.
game.
Yeah, I mean, because you're going to run into situations where, since you can't remove those cubes easily, I mean, like I said, your normal cure action doesn't work anymore. But there's other ways to kind of remove those.
Yep.
But you still run into situations where you've got 3 of them and you can't have an outbreak.
Yep.
You just really need to not have
Yeah.
one, so you
Yeah.
have to quarantine.
We also we didn't go over our names.
No.
Oh,
We
yeah.
named all of our board and stuff after Hollywood viruses.
Nice.
And characters from Hollywood movies
There you go.
about viruses.
That's good. As long as you got a theme, that's what counts.
Yes. We did name our yellow virus Bonitis.
That's perfectly fine.
Yeah. Our black virus is Motaba, which
Yep.
is from Outbreak.
Yep.
And our blue virus is Descolada, which is from Ender's Game or something.
No, it was some sci-fi something.
It was definitely
Oh
from
no,
a
yeah,
sci-fi.
that was from that was
Yeah.
no,
Children
not
of the
from-
Mind.
Yeah, from Children of the Mind. Yeah.
Yes.
Sure. Okay.
Yep.
So we have King
So that's not
Jellybean
Hollywood, though.
is our black one.
Yes,
That's incurable. We have Mr. Meeseeks is the blue one.
Yeah,
right?
because he's blue.
and he
Of course.
reproduces ridiculously.
The red one is Cronenberg disease.
Cronenberg's.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then yellow is just alien parasite because we even tried looking it up. Didn't have a name for those guys, just alien parasite.
which
All
again
right.
replicate out of control.
Yes. So,
Okay.
yeah.
So February you get your quarantine specialist
Yep.
and it becomes incurable.
And then we also got the relationships, right?
Yes. You also
Yes.
got the relationship game end upgrades.
Yep.
Which are huge.
We went ape shit crazy over those.
Yeah.
Almost every character we use has at least 2.
Really.
fucking
That's the
relationship-
most that you can put on there.
I know.
Yes, it
yeah.
is.
So we've filled them up.
We have
Everybody.
gone-
It's just a giant orgy of related people.
We have gone very
Although-
light on our relationships. We've only used one
Yeah, just the one.
between the scientist and the quarantine specialist. And really everything else we've been trying to put permanent stickers down on the board.
yeah.
Or character upgrades or virus upgrades.
Virus upgrades are
those,
clutch. Yeah.
those upgrades will save your ass.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
we do pretty much an upgrade for every virus. Like we've got almost the 3-2-1 for those.
We've got a
upgrades.
4th free.
We just got our 4th one on the previous one, which I think is
Gotcha.
blue. It's the first world virus, so we thought we'd get that one all the way.
Nice.
Nice.
So we both won February then, right?
Yes, we did.
Yeah.
Yep.
So you
Only
get that
one game in
swing.
February.
You know, now it's not curable, it's not treatable, but you kind of can ignore it at that point.
Yep.
It's not a huge concern as long as
Yep.
you manage the outbreaks.
Yeah.
Yep.
So February was the first one where if you won in February, you got that card that says like win in February, and if you do, you get to scratch it off, right?
Yep.
So those scratch offs were never in Risk Legacy, so that was a new one in here.
Okay.
And as a bit of a scratch card addict, I was just like, ooh, more things to scratch. So
Also opening up all the little doors on the dossiers
Yes.
to
Those
are
put
fun.
all your upgrades and stuff
Yep.
out, where you get your go fuck yourself coda upgrades.
oh yeah, yeah. And I like how she's like, yeah, just go ahead and cover that old one up. You just
Yep.
put it right on there.
We just ended up putting the last one on, taking off the old stickers and just putting the other one on because it's so goddamn big at this point. Yeah.
Yep.
Moving into March,
Mm-hmm.
what is the big twist for March,
So
Jeff?
now it's untreatable. So the military is now moving in.
Yes.
So you finally get access to military bases, along with that little symbol that you sort of ignored on
Yep.
your character cards.
Because you know it didn't mean anything in actual pandemic, but
Yeah.
in this one it means you're part of the military, meaning you can move from military base to military base,
Yep.
like research centers.
And
So-
it was, I think this one added more objectives into the month.
yes, it did.
So you had to have 2 objectives complete. So you had to cure 3 diseases as well as something else.
Yes.
Which could have been
I wanna-
eradicate.
Oh yeah, it was
or
eradicate, or was it put
build
military?
7
military base in
Yes,
each region.
yes.
Like
Yep.
so they divide the board up into different regions.
Yep.
which you didn't even notice until they said, "Hey, here's regions."
Exactly. Yes.
Like, oh, it was staring me in the
Yes.
face the whole time.
There are lines on the board.
yeah, that's
Crazy.
crazy talk. So
Also, on the player cards, there's spaces to put
Yep.
the upgrade stickers
Yep.
on the player cards, which you were like, "What?"
so as the guy that we play with, David,
Uh-huh.
he actually had an additional game in terms of this that that he sort of played with before us.
Uh-huh.
And then when he played with us, do you remember, and I actually saw that you guys made the same mistake too, the upgrade card that allows you to discard, cards in your hand to remove cubes?
Yes.
That many? You're like, oh, sweet, I can finally have a way of getting rid of black cubes.
Or red.
or red for you guys.
Red in
Yes.
our case, yeah.
And
And
so
then
we
it-
put it in on a March, and he made the same mistake in his game, and you guys made it too, and you guys did it right before.
Yep. I think we got to use it one time.
Yep.
One time.
So I will say we still get to use it, but more on that later.
Yeah.
I just remember seeing you guys do that, and I'm like, ugh,
Ah,
the folly of youth.
Sweet.
So
summer
naive.
Yep.
so then it was, here's some more objectives, and that kind of fills the top of the board with different things that you have to do
Yep.
and complete a lot of them, which gets pretty hard.
child. Yes.
But March, we also won on our first game of the month.
As did we.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So, and then we moved right into
shit's
April.
April.
April is where this game completely turns on its head.
April is where. So I'm going to interject here. So if you listened a little while back, I think I left it in the episode after the edit.
Yeah,
we were
you did.
joking about like how I would go nuts for a zombie pandemic.
Yep.
And that was a little bit of an inside joke
It's like, how,
that
oh,
anybody
doesn't
who's
exist.
played Pandemic Legacy might have picked up on. Because in April, we find out. What do we find out, Jeff?
Coda
Zombies.
has once again mutated.
Yep.
It has turned the skin on its victims clear,
Yep.
turning them into fits of aggressive behavior. And they are now called the Fated, also known as
Zombies.
Zombies.
Yep,
zombies.
basically. Yeah.
So everything that was red in our game,
Yep.
now I don't remember how it made ground zero. Was that your
it was the
It was
first
just the first outbreak.
first outbreak in that color.
in
Yeah.
that color?
So I will say for us, that happened right near the end of the game. So we never had to put out a faded figure in April.
Oh, we got boned.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Like our
Like half of our board was just like, hey, here, have some little zombie figurines.
And I will say April is when we realized, oh, we can't really play this at game night anymore.
yeah, like there's nothing.
Yeah, because it was before, like, we'd play and we'd just warn people away. Like, hey, stay away so you don't
Yeah,
see
just-
stickers on the board. But then all of a sudden, now that you're playing with these zombie figures, like, you got little glow-in-the-dark zombie, like, glow-in-the-dark looking, like, they're that kind of
Little
light
guys.
green
Little
colors.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't use the red or the black
N-
cubes
exactly.
anymore. You
Yeah.
have these little zombie figures.
Yep. And so, yeah, you can't play anywhere where somebody whose carriers might notice
Yep.
because they'd be like, oh, what are those
It
little
was
zombie
one
things?
one of you two were like,
Spoilers.
oh, let me check your board real quick. And I was like, fucking no, stop it. You're going to fucking spoil yourself.
Get the hell away.
Yeah.
Go away.
Now, so at this point, I was enjoying Pandemic Legacy through March.
Yeah.
But I'm not the biggest fan of Pandemic in general because when I play, it tends to, in my opinion, suffer greatly from quarterbacking. Somebody
Yep.
just kind of taking charge and telling people what to do. Especially because I play with a lot of people who have strong opinions.
Yes.
Which isn't a bad thing.
Nope.
It's just a thing.
You've got strong opinions.
I do have strong opinions. And so
Wrong opinions, but-
I was God damn it, Zach. So I was having fun with it, but I wasn't like crazy about it. And then they threw zombies into
Yep.
it. It's like they knew me and what would make me love Pandemic. And so all of a sudden, just the little change, like, now they're not cubes, they're little zombies.
Yep.
Completely changes it for some reason in my brain. Like, it switches the zombie switch back there. And I just gobble it up because I can't say no to zombies.
That was a poor choice of words when talking about zombies.
Gobbling it up.
It switches that zombie switch in the back of my head, and I just want to gobble it up.
I chose my words
That's how
carefully.
zombies work.
I
Yeah.
chose my words carefully.
Zombies eat things.
Yeah, they do.
Do they, Jeff?
Yeah.
Ooh, please tell us more.
So this is where it becomes real tough
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
you can't end your turn in the same place as a faded figure.
Exactly.
Or, you can't start your turn, or you
Which
get
is
a
important.
scar.
So yeah, originally you get a scar if you're in a city when it outbreaks.
Yeah.
That was the only way. So we were always like, oh, I can sit in this 2-city one, or this 2 disease one because it's fine.
Yep.
If another one gets hits on there, it's okay, but it's not going to outbreak.
Yeah, because basically the outbreaking led to rioting.
Yes.
And like so,
Cities-
as you outbreak, we didn't cover that really earlier, but as you outbreak, you throw a sticker down that like this has had an outbreak, and then it progressively gets worse and worse the more outbreaks have. Basically, the people go nuts if you can't keep the virus under control.
Yeah.
in their
Before the Faded, that was the most carryover you had on
Yeah.
the game board.
Exactly, yeah.
Was cities starting to fall
Yeah.
or collapse or
Yeah, which mainly were the Coda ones because we couldn't fucking cure them or treat them. So, most of the time it's like, let outbreak. Well, of course it did because we can't fucking do shit about it.
yeah.
So then,
Yeah.
we all of a sudden now have these faded outbreaks.
Yeah.
That if you're in the town, like I said at the start, you take a scar, which aren't good. None of them are good.
Mm-mm. 2 scars and you die. Or your
3
figure is
your-
lost forever or whatever.
If you get a third,
Well, that's what that's 2 and then. So
Yes.
2 and then another one.
and then you have to shred the character.
Yep.
Which
Have any of your characters died yet?
we have had no one die yet.
We have not. How many
We have-
scars have you have?
We have 3 total.
Okay.
A
I do
researcher has 2. So one more to the researcher, and
Ooh.
that's
That'll hurt.
We
That's
got
bad.
1. So
yeah.
Yep.
we've been very careful not to hurt any of our characters.
Yeah.
Because I remember hearing somebody talk about a game and their character came out in the month and then died that month.
Oh wow.
Oh God.
Yeah.
And just for the sake of transparency,
Uh-huh.
I will say that our researcher that has those 2 scars, they both happened when I was playing her.
Way to go, Leslie.
Yeah.
So what are the 2 scars on hers?
Overcautious. You need 1 extra card of the disease color to discover a cure, which as a researcher you really shouldn't
You're
be
never
doing.
gonna be-
You're going to be handing
Yeah,
them out, so that's okay.
exactly.
Yeah.
Terrified. It takes 1 more action for you to drive/ferry to a city containing faded figures.
Damn.
So she doesn't want
Which
to be
once
anywhere near
again,
the Faded.
she's about to die anyway, so
Yeah.
just stay clear anyhow.
Yeah,
Yep.
exactly.
Yeah, that kind of works. Ours was the military guy who already takes 1 extra. Or
He's not
2.
in the game yet. He's next month. Spoilers.
So you
I
guys,
hate you so
I know.
much.
on
I
your
do.
game end upgrades, as
Yeah.
soon as the military bases came out, went
Yep.
heavy on military
We
bases.
did. Mainly
Yes.
it was
permanent ones.
One, it was because a lot of the characters we used had that that dog tag on them.
Yeah.
So
And
it
then
let us
2,
move around the board
yes.
easy.
And like we even put one of those on the
Atlanta.
scientist, right?
Oh yeah, we did.
The dog tag on the scientist, so the scientist can move around too.
Mm-hmm.
But it was mainly because one of the objectives was get 7 military bases in each region.
Each of the 7 regions.
Or, yes.
1 in each. Yeah.
And now you permanently start with,
with 5.
5.
Yeah, so we can always be like, boom, boom, done. It's easy.
Yeah.
Yeah, we get that one done like in 2 turns.
Because a lot of times we play with the operations expert, and so he's just like, oh, I'm going to go here, put that there, move over here, put it there, done. So,
Yeah.
Which we've not used him almost at all.
yeah.
I think maybe once.
So
We only have 1 permanent military base,
Gotcha.
right in the middle of our Faded clusterfuck.
oh shit.
Which we sort of hold down as
No, it's the fort that
as a
we-
base to
Yeah.
like try and treat
Yeah.
through what we can.
We have a
Gotcha.
research center and a military base in that city
Uh-huh.
in Hong Kong. And
Yeah.
so first move for a lot of people is go either start in Hong Kong, or if you
Yeah.
can't start in Hong Kong, go straight there and quarantine it.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
That makes
keeping
sense.
the area quarantined as much as
That's
possible.
cool. Nice.
And it
To-
keeps you close to all the other faded cities
Oh, yeah,
to-
yeah,
in order to
that's-
quarantine them easier. And
That's
stuff
why
like that.
ours is it? It's not Hong Kong. It's either Hong Kong or the one right near it that has our only other research station, because it's pretty close to that side of the black, because our whole black is just a clusterfuck.
Yeah.
and we don't want to have anything near it on the blue because if it spreads, we're fucked.
yeah.
Yeah, we've got North America threatened
Yeah.
from 3 different routes.
So our friend, he stopped playing when Atlanta became a fallen city.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's a bad thing.
Yeah, so that's level 5,
Oh.
where you can't go there anymore.
Is it David? David.
Yeah.
They just stopped playing at that point.
Yeah, yeah.
Ouch.
Ouch.
I don't know if they're over finished, but they basically just have had no desire to play it since then.
That sucks.
So, one of the other differences is our panic levels of our
Yes.
cities.
Yeah.
We have 22 unstable cities, which is the first outbreak level.
Yep.
Which
You guys
basically
have-
just means nothing.
Yeah.
yeah.
Which is kind of like, watch out.
Yeah.
You guys only have 9.
Yeah, we kept
Yep.
it pretty close.
We've done pretty good.
Yeah.
22 to 9. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
You guys have 6 rioting cities
Uh-huh.
where we only have 7.
Yeah.
Most
Which-
of ours are in the black, aren't
Yeah,
they?
yeah, pretty much. Like I said, black, like especially the Middle East part, is a shit show, but everything else is sort of
Well managed.
well managed.
Yeah.
Although it started the fucking red cities.
we're
Started.
gonna have oil crises soon though, because the Middle East
Yeah.
is just garbage right now.
Yeah.
We only have one stage 3 rioting city where you have 2.
Yes.
We have 0 collapsing or
Yep.
stage 4 cities, and you have 1.
That would
which
be
is
Riyadh.
Riyadh.
Yeah.
Not good.
Which is that's the epicenter, right? Or that?
I think so.
It's their
Our-
ground zero.
our
Yeah, it's
ground
ground zero.
Okay.
Surprise, surprise.
Yeah.
Ours is Bangkok, which isn't too worse for wear.
Right.
Not a lot of outbreaks going on over there.
And
which
it's
is
not
nice.
very well connected to other cities, really. It only
Yeah.
has like 2 or 3 connections.
That's good.
At least it
Riyadh's-
wasn't Hong Kong or something.
Or
It's just-
Riyadh,
Right.
which has like 5 or 6.
Yeah, it's
So,
far too well connected.
One other interesting thing about the Faded is that now if a Faded outbreak happens, any city that it touches becomes Faded. So that
Yep.
means if for us, if it was black and it spread over to red, like it did for one of ours, that is now a Faded city as
Yeah.
well.
Jakarta.
You don't,
Jakarta
if you
has
draw that
fallen.
red card, even though black is the faded disease, you put a faded person on there
Exactly.
instead of the red disease.
Yes.
Yeah. So yeah, Jakarta has fallen.
Yep.
We only have one non-red city. We have
Yeah.
one black city that has
You-
become faded.
And you have all of your red cities faded.
Yeah, and then just last game, we finally got all cities, red cities, faded,
Sydney had out for a while. You know, those Australians.
which is
Yep.
appropriate.
I'm pretty sure Madagascar
They're used
knows
to
that
things
it's going
trying
to
to
be
kill 'em.
fine for the entire thing. But
Fucking Madagascar. Greenland's pretty shitty too.
yeah, it is.
We're not talking about entirely different plague.
We're talking about pandemic, but it's a
Yeah.
different kind of pandemic game.
So April had a lot going on in it,
Yes, it did.
which we lost twice.
Yep.
We won, but
Yep.
once again, that is because we didn't have to put any faded figures out until the very end.
Yeah, we got very lucky.
We got
Yeah.
just like all of them all over the place
Yep.
right away, and we're like, well, this is done.
Yeah, it was a very black light one, so it was nice.
Definitely.
So that brings us to May,
Good old
Yes.
May.
where everything just kind of gets worse.
It
Almost
doesn't-
like that's the theme of
yeah.
the game.
I'm surprised they didn't just go. You know what? You guys have dealt enough. Here's some nice margaritas. You just sit
Get
down
out of
and
jail
relax.
free
Yeah.
card.
So May's introduction to the game was some new characters.
Yes.
And accelerated incubation.
Yep.
Which we fucked up
Yeah.
for 3 games.
And we had David when he, in his last game, he
knew.
fucked that up too. So we knew to win.
Yeah. So accelerated incubation at the end of your 4 actions when you're drawing player cards.
Mm-hmm.
If you draw cards that are the color of your faded virus,
Yep.
put a faded figure on the board for that city.
Because they were pretty sure. They're like, you guys don't see enough faded guys. We made these nice characters. We want you to see them on the board.
Yes. We
God.
totally fucked that up and did not do that at all for 3 games.
Well, now you know.
Now we know.
And yet
Yeah.
you still managed to lose.
Twice. No, we
No,
only
just
lost
the
one.
one.
Just
Yeah,
one.
just the one.
Yeah. Only lost one.
Yeah.
But the big part was character additions in May, which was the kernel,
Yeah.
which allows you to remove faded figures from the board.
Finally.
So
Yeah.
he is the one that we have a scar on because he was just going on, and then we had an outbreak happen, and we're like, fuck.
And then we couldn't
Because
get
it
him
spread
out.
out to him, and we couldn't
Yeah.
get him out in time.
Yeah.
But we just gave him the scar of, oh no, it takes him an additional card
So it
to
takes
cure.
like 6 now.
Yeah.
No, it takes him 7.
Seven.
No, 8.
8?
Because it takes 5. He takes 2 additional, and then he has that third one, so it takes 8 cards. So he
Yeah.
literally can never cure. And you know what? That's okay.
That's okay.
Because
Not his job.
Yeah, we gave him the character trait or whatever they're called, the purple ones.
Character
of-
upgrades.
Character upgrades. When you move out of a city with a faded figure, you can remove one of those figures. So we
yeah,
can
so-
just fucking have him walk around.
So he just moves through like
Yep.
That's
bang, bang, bang,
Yeah.
bang. Fuck you,
He
zombies.
just drive-bys everything. Chapow. Because that's
So,
a gun sound. Chapow.
if-
Chapow.
Chapow. Because it's a Japanese gun.
Roadblocks.
Yes.
Just because our virus is in Asia doesn't mean that he's from Asia.
But it doesn't mean he's not from Asia.
This is true. Roadblocks were added also this
He's a
month,
military brat. It makes sense, okay?
which the colonel can move through without having to discard extra cards.
So roadblocks, we have not put any of those
no,
out.
We have
should
used those
maybe start
extensively.
considering
Yeah.
to do that.
Yeah, no, we're controlling our virus
Yeah.
through liberal use of roadblocks and quarantines.
Yes.
And you guys are just letting it spread all over Asia.
We're just killing people. That's all we're doing.
Yeah, they're just killing all of the infected
I
people.
am waiting for the tactical nuke player option. So
There are upgrades that was jets that allowed you to just swoop by. It was like a
firebombing them.
yeah, pretty much.
Airstrike.
Yes, that
Remove
was,
one
Yep.
faded figure.
which I mean, I feel like airstrike should remove all faded figures.
Yeah.
Just blast that.
That's clearly
there's a
too
lot of
powerful.
people in that. There's a lot of faded people in that city. Is all I'm saying.
Yeah.
One airstrike.
Just not using big enough bombs.
Yeah, because they want to keep the city.
So
Riyadh is a lost cause at this point.
we won our second game in May with the Colonel going around and killing and murdering
Yeah,
He was
all
very
of
helpful.
the innocent infected people, also known as the Faded. But we definitely screwed up the accelerated incubation,
Yeah.
which I think we'll probably have to take a ding on our next
Yeah,
game.
and they do have
that
rules
is
about
yes.
that.
So that is one nice thing. When you so usually you start with in regular pandemic you start with 4 event cards, and in this one it is you start with 4, but if you win a game you put that down by 2, so you
Yep.
can only get 2, and then if you win again it goes down to 0. But if you start losing, they add more events onto there, so it makes the timer a little bit longer, and
Yeah.
some of those events are really nice.
Yes. Well, I think our highest was 6, and we've had 6 twice
Yeah.
and 0 once, except for our next game that we will also ding ourselves down
Yes.
to 0.
So that's also one thing that the designer actually said was that if you ever found out you were playing something wrong, just take it out of your funding, which is because we played it wrong once too, because
Yeah.
we accidentally we were playing a 4-player game, but we gave cards out like it was a 2-player game. So everybody got 4 cards.
That sure would be nice.
Yeah. just curing shit right on the first turn.
Yep.
Yeah. We did that.
Pretty
Red was
much.
cured on that first turn. So
So that was May. We took 2 games, one loss.
yeah, I will say for May, that was the first month where we lost both months, or
Both games.
both games in the month, and so that was the first time we did not get to see what that scratch off was, because
Yeah.
it said if you won, and it was funny because about I think half our group was just like, we should I think at least Bob was just like, we should see what's in there or something like that, and I was like, fuck you guys, in my game I bought it rip, you never get to find out, throw it away.
Yeah.
I don't remember caring one way or the
Okay.
other, but I might have cared in the moment. I don't know.
Yeah,
April was our only double loss month.
gotcha.
We lost 3 in a row,
Okay,
but not 4.
yes,
It was
Fours
almost 4.
when things get hairy.
Well, when you lose 4, you can open up box 8,
And
and
what-
we don't know what's in there yet
Because we haven't lost 4 in a row.
We've only lost 2 in a row, so yeah, we
I'm
don't.
thinking
know.
that's where those tactical nukes are.
Yeah,
Okay.
It's all tactical nukes
I
in
could
there.
believe that.
Boom.
Now the question is, if you finish this game and you do not lose 4 in a row, are you going to look in box 8?
I will Google it, probably.
That sounds more like what I would want to do.
I would.
Yeah.
That way you could deny it later.
I
have
Yeah.
no
I would
idea
open
what's
it.
in there.
I would never.
Leslie
I would
wants to
never
know
look at it.
exactly what's in his box.
Yeah.
Yep. I can't leave pieces in a box unused.
This isn't a regular game. You don't treat it like a regular game, Wesley.
You got to treat all games like they're regular games.
No, you
No.
don't. No.
Also,
I
the,
don't know what that's supposed to mean.
Demonstrably false. Demonstrably false.
the time delay between
Yes.
our first half of May and second half of May game was 4 months. Well, I'm sorry, 3 months and 29 days. It was from April 20th to August 19th.
Nice.
Yeah, we lost 3 games in a row, and we're like, well, let's take some time off.
Yeah.
All these people are dying in this world. We can wait another week or
We'll
so.
figure
Of course,
out
it took
later.
us 2 months between those 3 losing games.
Yes,
but-
exactly.
so yeah, May.
Yeah.
Where'd you end up in May? Did you end up
Like I
winning?
said,
No, we
like I
lost
said,
both
May
in
was
May.
May
Lost
was
both
the
in
first
May.
time we lost
Yep.
both.
Yeah, it was not great.
So
Not
then
a-
we
were
finally
pretty
turned it all
discouraged.
around in June,
Uh-huh.
where it's the first new month that doesn't totally fuck you.
Yeah. You finally get some stuff that tries to help you.
Yeah.
The card's basically like, well, I think you guys need some help now.
Yep.
The government has basically realized that, zombies might actually require
Yeah.
assistance.
So that's
you
what-
can't just send scientists out willy-nilly to fight zombies.
Yes.
That only works in shitty
Yeah.
movies.
So that's when the equipment came out, right?
Yes.
Yeah, which is a action
Yes.
that you can do,
Uh-huh.
which will let you put equipment on player cards.
Yes.
And then when you have that player card, you can discard it and do whatever the effect
Yep.
is. So it makes
Basically
it a free
becomes
event
an
card.
event. Yeah.
Yeah, there was like grenades, and there's like some healing one
So
or
we-
something like that. But
So we started applying those to black cities in
Yep.
the player deck
Yep.
because we figured you can't use them for anything else really, except for like some travel. And
So the ones where we had falling cities or rioting cities, you can't do a direct flight to those. So we're like those, number one, those are going to be the ones we put them on because
Yeah.
they're useless otherwise.
We didn't have any of those. So, and then it also added the soldier,
Yep.
who has the almost cheating ability to use the equipment card out of his hand, then use an action to pick up the card
Yep.
that you just gave away,
Uh-huh.
and then use it again.
Yep.
And then get it back into your hand again.
Yeah.
Which is super useful.
Well, yeah. We thought about using the soldier in June in our first game in June.
Yeah.
But we were just like, we don't have any equipment cards. We should start putting. So
That's exactly what we
yeah.
did.
So the last ones for that, we were just like, okay, we're gonna throw as many equipment cards on as we can, and then we're gonna try and start using the soldier. So
that's the plan.
So we dumped our actions into putting equipment on, and
Yep.
then we used our game end upgrades
yes.
to dump, I think, the rest of them.
Yeah, I think every single red card in our game has an equipment on it.
Nice.
I think we spent more time figuring out what cards we wanted to put the equipment on than we did actually playing the game.
Gotcha.
Sounds about right.
But I think everything red is. The only thing we didn't use is the field hospital. It's like a one-turn research station,
Oh yeah.
which didn't seem useful.
Right, especially when
No.
you have upgraded your diseases to the point where you don't need to go to a research station to
Exactly.
cure them, then what's
Yeah.
the point of having a one-use research
Exactly.
station?
So-
Except for travel.
Yeah. So we haven't even really talked about that. The fact that if you eradicate a disease is one of the game and upgrades, you can
Yes.
make it easier.
So they make it. One of them makes it so you need one less card to cure.
Yep.
One of it makes it so that you don't need to you don't need to be in a research station to cure. And then what are the other? ones?
You don't need an action to do it.
That's right.
And which we actually debated on it a bit was that you can do it on your own. You don't have to do it on your own turn if it doesn't take an action. And
Someone gives you
really?
the card.
yes, someone gives you the card and you don't need an action or a thing. You can immediately cure it.
Which
Yeah,
could
we
be
didn't
pretty
play
easy.
it like that.
Yeah.
What's the final one?
When you treat, remove all the cubes of this color from your city, as in it.
So everyone gets the
gets
medic
the-
ability
yes.
against that
Yes.
color.
Yeah,
That's
But you can
nice.
only put that on one color.
exactly.
Right.
But I'd guess it'd be the one that isn't Coda that's giving you the most trouble. So, like red, we have some rioting cities in red. So we might put it on that. I don't know.
Yeah. We'll see.
Yeah. So we did 3. We went to level 3 on 2 of them, and then the other one we just have 1 for right now.
Yep. So that brings us to the end of June.
Yep.
Which is as far as we're going to go for spoilers on this one.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we've covered all of our major spoilers.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything else anybody wants to talk about their individual games? Interesting storylines or fun,
It's,
memorable moments? I don't have any.
I
I'll be
mean,
honest.
none that we
I've
haven't
blocked
already
it all
talked.
out.
Yeah.
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 some games are definitely easier than others.
Yes.
Depends on your draw.
Yeah, which I mean that's the case with pandemic.
in general. Yeah.
Well, I think especially because of the way that the funding works, where if you win a game, you get less events.
Yeah.
And if you lose, then you get more events.
Yeah.
It really gets worse and worse and worse until all of a sudden it's easy. And then it's still
Yeah.
easy and still easy and still easy until it's bad again.
Yeah.
And it really kind of, there's no really in between where, that was a pretty decent normal game of Pandemic. It's either
Yeah.
really hard or really easy.
Yep.
Yeah.
Sounds pretty close to right.
They added more event cards through the something, didn't they?
They did.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and some of them are pretty cool, too.
Yeah. Definitely. And I think the ones that are always the hardest are the ones where they introduce a new mechanic halfway through the game, so you can't plan for it.
Like that first
That
game
Like
in
that
January.
first one,
First
and
round,
then
man.
and then the faded and all that stuff. You're just like, oh fuck.
I mean, the faded
Well,
don't
like-
really change much. Now they're scars. So
Yeah.
if you were in a
Yeah,
city
exactly.
with some, and then all of a sudden it pops
Yep.
out around you, you're screwed.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because you could have had the quarantine specialist just hopping around all around in black for us, and putting quarantine things out, and all of a sudden, oh fuck!
Now they're trying to.
Now
eat
there's
me.
zombies everywhere. I gotta get the fuck out of here. So,
Yeah.
So what are your main roles that you guys used? You said the quarantine specialist, and
Definitely the quarantine specialist, the scientist,
yeah.
Medic.
and the medic are definitely our top 3.
Were those pretty much the 3 that you used, and then a rotating 4th, Or
yeah, we'll always
Yeah,
we'll rotate in
the dispatcher.
researcher, dispatcher. Dispatcher is always great.
right.
Especially when we started getting the faded, because we wanted to be able to move people if
Yeah.
anything ever appeared on them, so they could
Yeah.
get out before they started
Go
their
in,
turn.
quarantine
Yeah.
stuff, and then if something, because that's why it's important that you don't lose health or take a scar
Yeah.
until the beginning of your turn. So you can go into a faded region, quarantine stuff,
Yep.
and then if something happens, the dispatcher can pull you out before
Yeah.
the beginning of your next turn.
No, it makes sense. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, we don't, I think we used the dispatcher once, maybe. For us, it was mainly the medic, the scientist, the colonel. Pretty much once the colonel came
In the
out,
game,
we've been using
yeah.
him the entire time.
I think we've had the scientist, the medic, and since like February, the quarantine specialist in every single
Yeah.
game. Those seem like almost mandatory, or you're gonna just get destroyed.
Yeah,
Yeah, we used the colonel in both of the games that he was available to us.
Not the third. We've had him available for 3 games.
three
We've
games,
used
okay.
2 of the 3 because we went to the
And then we basically stopped using the researcher after she got those 2 scars.
Yeah.
makes
So
sense.
it's been mostly the dispatcher, the scientist, the medic, and the quarantine
Gotcha.
specialist for the other games.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
With a few of the other ones
Right.
with like 1 use.
Right. So overall, in this first half of the year-long campaign,
Yeah.
literally, I guess.
Yeah.
We made a joke of like, oh, what if we just played like
Well,
the actual month when we were playing the game? It's like, we'll play.
1 game every month, and then after a year, we'll have played the whole game.
It's
Yeah.
like, nah,
No.
we're gonna play way faster than that.
Yeah, I think we all thought that too.
No, now it's been like
Yeah.
9 months, and we're only
Yep.
6 months in.
I mean, yeah, because I mean, there was definitely a wall. Granted, I mean, like summers just get busier
Yeah.
in some respects
Oh,
for us
definitely.
out here, where all of
Yeah.
a sudden now it's not winter and you can go do things outside.
Well, then also going on long trips too.
Yeah, and then that's really what killed it for us. We were
Gen
on a
Con.
pretty. It was before Gen Con for us.
Yeah.
It was. I took a
You,
big long
yeah,
trip.
yeah.
And then I took 2 weeks later another long trip,
Yeah.
and then 2 weeks later I was at Gen Con. It's like every 2
Yep.
weeks I'm going on a trip, and we
So-
just haven't had the time to do it on the
Because
weekend.
you can technically play, like, you don't have to play the full 4 every time, but I feel that it's just a disservice to the other player if
Yeah.
you're like, oh, we'll just play this month without you.
Yeah.
To bring in scabs.
Yeah, yeah. So overall, how's what in our in progress?
I mean,
what
so-
are you feeling about?
I mean, so we definitely hit a wall. I mean,
Yeah.
we haven't played in months now.
Yes.
So that's one of those things. It's going to make it harder to get back into it because you
Uh-huh.
haven't played in a while, so there's not that urgency anymore. Like,
Yeah.
oh shit, this all just happened. We need to see what's going to happen next. But I feel like that'll go away after like 1, maybe 2 games. Like if
Exactly.
we can just get back to doing it regularly,
Yeah.
we'll burn through the rest. I mean, so we're in July. We finished July.
Yes, we
right?
did. Yeah, we've
so we
done-
won July.
No, we lost. We lost in July.
Both.
No, just the first one.
Okay, so we still have to play another July.
Yeah.
But so we're at a point where we hopefully will start. If we lose July again, then we'll be into August with more funding.
Yep.
Otherwise, if we win, then we'll be into August, and
Yeah.
just have a few more games, and
Yeah.
hopefully we can round it out pretty quick once we start playing again. We just
Yeah.
need to do it.
Yeah, pretty much.
But overall, I like it.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. I just, like he said, we just, life shit has been making it to where we just couldn't play.
Yeah.
So,
Now we have a podcast that hogs up for me 2 days a week.
yeah.
And
I
so
mean,
that just complicates things. even
one
more.
day-
I just stay awake at night.
There you
just
go.
With nightmares of this podcast.
There you go. One day and then
hunting.
5 minutes while I write the description.
Yeah.
So I feel like it's like 50-50, right? That's what I'm getting.
I put in so much work for this
yeah,
today.
Yeah, yeah.
You had to get here.
Yeah, you had to get here.
On time.
Oh, man. And then
I couldn't even pull that off.
Yeah, yeah. But don't worry, we started.
For shame.
Yeah, we started late anyway. So
I think that's it.
Well,
for
so what
the
do you
first
what
six
are you
months.
guys'
was this
thoughts?
what you
So-
expected?
Yeah.
Is it better than you expected?
It's fantastic. It's one of my favorite games.
Oh no, it's tons of fun. I like as much research as I put into it. Like
Uh-huh.
I was completely dissatisfied with the amount of information I could find, which is why I didn't end up buying it.
Yeah.
because I wanted those guarantees that I could still play it when it was done and all that stuff. And
Yeah.
at the time, people hadn't finished playing it yet, and there was just no information. So basically, all I knew was it's gonna be different each game,
Yeah.
and you're gonna get stickers for the board, just like you guys said. It's 12 months,
Yeah.
and when you're done, if you're careful with your stickers, maybe you could start over. And I was like, I don't know. But it's been tons of fun.
Yeah.
I had no idea what to expect, and this was amazing.
Good to hear.
It's like regular Pandemic, but better.
Yeah.
Shit. Yeah. There's a reason why it's literally number 1 on Board Game Geek.
Is
so-
it though still?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh
Still.
yeah, like by a wide margin.
And it was a nominee for Essen.
Yes, it was for
Spiel.
Kenner.
Kenner Spiel. Kenner Spiel. They
yeah.
are. It didn't win, but that wasn't expected.
yeah.
That was not unexpected.
Yeah,
I
they
think
picked the more Euro one, which
The
made sense.
safer
Yeah,
bet. Well, and because with the Spiel they want games that could, in theory, be on your shelf and be played years down the
Exactly,
road.
yeah.
And this
Yeah,
isn't
right.
that
this one
game.
and Time Stories, because that was the other one.
Aren't those.
So
They did a good job, I think,
yeah.
nominating them because it recognized them for being outstanding games, which
exactly,
they both are.
yeah,
And they definitely provide a unique gaming experience that you're not going to find in any other game.
yep.
But they're not super
Yeah.
replayable.
So far at least, would you do another Legacy game?
Oh yeah, definitely. No, I was actually wanting to play Risk Legacy like the instant it came out. I've played so much Risk in my life and variations on Risk.
Yeah.
Lord of the Rings Risk 2284, whatever the futuristic one was. I love Risk. And when they came out with Legacy, I was like, I need to do that, except none of my friends will play Risk with me anymore.
I had an old Star
Nice.
Wars Risk back in the day where like you could play as the Rebels, the Empire, or like mercenaries.
Yeah.
Nice.
And the Empire had a Death Star that could actually blow up spaces. It was pretty
Nice.
great. It was like, I feel like my young self's
Yeah.
intro to like what Rebellion is to me as an
Yeah.
older, more seasoned gamer. That's what that was to my young,
Yeah.
like open-minded gaming self.
Gotcha.
Like, holy shit, a game can do like cool things, like have a Death Star that blows up entire regions. Like,
Yeah.
and that doesn't fuck the game up. So,
Cool.
Pandemic Legacy is just all fucked up,
Yep.
top to bottom.
Yes, it is, but
So-
in the best way.
yes. So if you're looking, if you're at this point listening to this podcast and you're either halfway through and you're already yearning for another Legacy game, or maybe you're finished and you're just curious what our thoughts were on the first half or whatever, you can't pre-order it anymore, but hopefully it won't be out of print for too long. Seafall will be the first ever designed from the ground up Legacy game.
Yes.
Which I'm
that
excited for.
Is
Yeah.
supposed to be
I
just
wish I had
fantastic.
known to get a pre-order.
You
Yeah.
should have listened to our podcast the day before we released it.
Yeah. Like, I was listening to that one and I was like,
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah.
Just,
well
you know,
darn.
Yeah. Well, the problem was that they announced it like that Monday or Sunday.
Yeah.
So we couldn't have even said, hey, you guys,
Yeah, we didn't know.
we didn't know until it was too late for you. But we knew. So
And I think-
we took advantage of our knowledge.
And
Yes.
I'll take advantage of the games that you guys bought and play on your team.
There you go.
There we go. So, all right. Well, thanks everybody
Yeah.
for tuning in to our spoiler cast of Pandemic Legacy Season 1, the first 6 months.
Dun, dun, dun.
After we
Done.
play and finish, we'll do another one of these and talk about how
So
the
it
game
takes
ended for
9
us.
months from now, I would guess.
So, yeah, so tune in.
I mean,
you
if
know.
we keep the same pace.
Yes, exactly.
I'm going to set it for, we've released, I think now, this will be episode 4. This will be our 14th episode overall. So look for us like episode 122 will be our finishing up of. I don't know. I'm just pulling
122.
numbers. I'm just pulling
100.
numbers.
So 108 episodes later. So 2 more years is what I'm hearing.
Yeah, that's what that math works out to. 2 more years and then 4 weeks.
Yes.
So actually,
But I'm also including double episodes and shit like
Because
that.
we
that's
do
fair
things like that sometimes.
Math, as an accountant, the math doesn't add up. It
I
subtracts.
wanted it to be a ridiculous statement,
Well,
and I
it was.
succeeded.
You did.
So, and then you guys ruined the joke.
Did you
What
expect
joke?
us to not do that?
I hate you guys. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. We really appreciate you listening to our podcast.
Yeah.
Feel free to give us feedback through our emails at milehighgameguys.com.
Emails.
Get at us on Twitter at MHGameGuys. You can also see awesome pictures of all the gaming we do on our Instagram at milehighgameguys.
Yeah.
And we are also on Facebook, Mile High Game Guys. So get in touch, leave us comments.
Don't
Tell
forget
us,
to rate us on iTunes and all
yes,
that stuff.
please rate, recommend, comment, subscribe, all those.
Unsubscribe, then resubscribe.
Just click that button over and over.
Yep. Yeah.
Write a script. But no, we do seriously appreciate all the people who are currently listening to our podcast.
Yes.
Tell your friends.
The dozens of them.
The dozens of them. There are
Dozens.
literally dozens.
Yes.
We have international
We
listeners.
do.
So.
Either that or people using
VPNs.
VPNs. Yeah.
Which, knowing our friend group, that's
Yeah.
not entirely out of the realm of possibility.
wait, no, you guys track IPs. I'm going to stop listening.
We don't track IPs, but it does show country of origin.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Yeah, fair
Yeah.
enough.
So we have China,
Well, they don't.
UK,
They don't track it. I do. But yeah.
China, UK, and Canada.
Yep.
China,
So-
definitely a VPN.
Yes. Yeah.
We could have a Chinese listener.
Sure.
Or an expat or something.
I'm gonna vote
Anyway,
DMV.
thanks for listening, everybody. You know how to get a hold of us. Please send us messages so Jeff can have some to read on our next episode.
Yes.
He really wants to read actual real emails
Yes,
that he
for-
didn't send himself.
or yeah.
Yep.
So, all right, everybody. I've been Adrian,
I'm still Zach.
I'm Jeff.
and our guest today was.
Wes.
All right, thanks for tuning in. We'll catch you guys later.
See ya.
Bye.